Jey Uso has spoken for the first time since bleeding his own blood at Wrestlepalooza. Another WWE star is out injured at the moment, and we have the backstage reaction to AJ Lee's return match at Wrestlepalooza. Find out what it is in this news video right now. Good morning, everybody. I am Ross, joined by Owen Mawson. How are you, Owen?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine also.
Tired after a weekend of wrestling?
Yep. How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
Lots of wrestling, lots of graps.
Yeah. Patreon.com/Cultaholic this week for not only WTF moments for All Out, but also WTF moments from Wrestlepalooza, a show in which we saw Stephanie Vaquer capture the vacant Women's World Championship by defeating Io Sky. But there was a little bit of context given to her missing from TV over the last few weeks by Triple H in the post-show press conference, which we thought we'd bring up today because it's a little bit interesting. Owen.
It is. So Triple H said, in the last few weeks, Stephanie has been very sick. I don't know the details of the flu type thing going on, but she has been very sick. It was why she missed TV, and it's why there's been some odd build to the match at Wrestlepalooza. She was able to feel well enough and get cleared medically to compete tonight for her to be able to do that against Io, who I consider one of the greatest women of all time in the industry. For her to get a win like that and to become the Women's World Champion is incredible. She has been here for a very short time. As we move forward now, she's become a dominant force. The landscape of WWE in the women's division just changed with Stephanie Vaquer becoming the world's champion.
So
what a match.
Yeah, it was a very good match, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was my match of the night. No, at Wrestlepalooza. Wasn't my match of the whole weekend, but it was my match of Wrestlepalooza.
Divisive comments, Owen Mawson.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
It was great.
Shock.
I mean, I love Io Sky, but I'm glad that they put the belt on Stephanie because I feel like there's a lot more, she's strapped the rocket to her, send her to the top.
She is sensational. But Triple H mentions there's some odd build to it. Obviously, Stephanie Vaquer was missing for a few weeks. It's good to hear now why, because it was weird because we had a little bit of time where Triple H was shooting an episode of Kill Tony that you saw maybe on the YouTubes last week. It went live. But that night there was supposed to be a contract signing between Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer. It didn't happen. Triple H appeared on the Pat McAfee show, I think, to promote Wrestlepalooza and his appearance on, he spoiled his appearance on Kill Tony on that Pat McAfee show appearance. And he was just like, oh, it didn't happen. I've not seen the show. There's a bit of Chris Kamara happening for those over here in the UK.
I don't know, Jeff.
I don't know why it didn't happen.
Where's he gone?
So it's good to hear why that is happening. Also, Stephanie Vaquer, fantastic wrestler, as we all know, my wrestler of the half year in the Culties you might have seen a couple of months ago.
You could say a bigger award than becoming world champion.
Yes,
some would argue.
Some would argue this, and you are correct. But also, the fact that she's done all this while being a little bit under the weather is incredible.
That's what I was just about to say, because if you go and watch the match back, you wouldn't know that she's been poorly. You wouldn't know at all. It was an unbelievable match, and yeah, I'm glad that she seems to be doing better now, and that's the main thing.
Yes, it is.
World champ.
Up the Steve, as we say on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast. Now, also more injury news now from the WWE roster. Someone you might have been noticing is missing from Secret Service action currently is Piper Niven, and Fightful Select Owen have the scoop right here.
Yeah, so when Fightful looked into Piper Niven's recent absence, they were told that she has been injured. They don't know specifically what the injury is, but they just don't know how bad it is at this point. She hasn't wrestled in over a month since her win over Charlotte Flair on SmackDown back in August. And on the September 19th episode of SmackDown, Chelsea Green teamed up with Alba Fire, where she would normally team with Piper Niven. So we obviously don't know what the injury is. She's been missing for a little while now. And there's no time frame on when she'll be back, Piper Niven. So we just wish her all the best, whatever's going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's that question answered. Where is she? She's either injured and or ill.
Yeah.
I guess you could throw that in there because of the Stephanie Vaquer situation. Maybe there's something going around the locker room at the moment.
Well, Triple H said, and there's maybe a flu type thing going on. Maybe it's spreading around backstage. Who knows?
Yeah, but best wishes to Piper Niven in her recovery from whatever the bloody hell it is. But next up, we have some. Well, I guess it's kind of injury news, but it's also a big botch-a-rooney bit of news because you might have seen Jey Uso wheeling a steel chair over the weekend there. He went boom to the back of a big fellow sweaty man, but the sort of ricochet went back into his head. The blood was instantaneous on the forehead of Jey Uso. In the post-match sort of happenings, if you want, inside the ring, it looked like he was freaking out at the amount of blood that was coming out of his head, and Jimmy was like, just calm down, bro, it'll be fine.
I'd be panicking.
Yeah.
It was instant. The blood instantly just started to trickle down. It was a brutal, as you said, botch there. But Jey Uso did respond afterwards on Instagram by posting simply, "I'm good," with a blood drip emoji. So he seems to be fine.
I mean, you would say you would find under those circumstances, and you're a wrestler, because as we all know, wrestling's quite a macho business.
Don't feel pain.
No.
Don't feel pain.
So of course, if you're gonna draw blood, especially if you draw blood in the way Jey Uso drew the blood out of his own head, he was bleeding his own blood out via his own means.
I watched it back a few times and I just couldn't work out how the ricochet happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it bounced it off the ropes; it bounced off Bron Breaker's back.
There must have been a jagged corner on the rounded steel chair.
I know,
which makes no sense whatsoever. But Jey Uso, because it was a little bit worrying watching those scenes in the ring after the match, because Jimmy was like, sort of, Jay's laying on his back. I'm sure you've seen it by now, and Jimmy's sort of like laying on his chest, going like, "Just calm down, you're fine." And he's like, "Oh."
The sight of your own blood can do that to a man, Ross.
I wouldn't know. I've never bled my own blood anyway. All the best to Jey Uso as he recovers from that big old gash inside of his forehead.
Yes.
It was a little bit funny to see, I guess, but also a little bit worrying at the same time seeing the post-match
In
stuff
hindsight,
in the
now
ring.
that we know he's good, we can have a bit of a laugh, maybe.
Yeah. That's how it works, isn't it?
I wouldn't want it to be me.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
just
Joel hurting his ankle. Like, we know he's all good now, and you can laugh about it, can't you?
Exactly.
What's a good laugh between friends? Anyway, also at WrestlePalooza at the weekend, you might have seen AJ Lee and CM Punk. Well, CM Punk was staring at his wife's bottom for a long time after the match, and that's because they were celebrating a big victory.
Big win.
Becky Lynch has responded to this victory on Instagram with a little bit of a scoop, saying that she blames a bee for the loss. Of course, Becky Lynch was the one who tapped out to AJ Lee. She says, though, Becky Lynch, I've recovered the unedited footage, which clearly shows I was attacked by a rogue bee at the end of the match. I have not tapped out in over 6 years, and if it wasn't for the blatant bias of that crooked referee, who so obviously saw that I was being ambushed by a vicious winged insect predator, I would have been declared the winner. As you can see from the screenshot there, a bee is clearly visible. Becky Lynch, that is why she tapped out.
I can't believe it's not been spotted. This is why VAR exists in football, all right? And this is why VAR needs to come to wrestling, because you can't be having bees interfering in matches with a lot of stakes on the line. You know, the first mixed tag match, they were both undefeated going in. One of the undefeated streaks of the mixed tag teams were going to go, and because of a bee, Becky Lynch and Seth have lost the first ever mixed tag.
It's all down to the bee. It's absolutely. I mean,
it's outrageous.
Despite the controversial circumstances surrounding the finish, Fightful Select do have the backstage. It's a very short backstage scoop, but a backstage scoop nonetheless.
Oh, but we've got the scoop
when it comes to AJ Lee's performance. What they're saying backstage.
Fightful Select have heard that the backstage reception to AJ Lee's first match back was very positive. Those that they spoke to in WWE felt that she did really well, and she had a bit of. It went on a bit too long, the match, for me, and there was a little bit of ring rust there, which is to be expected. She's not wrestled in 10 years, but on the whole, I think she did do really well.
Yeah,
there was a few sloppy spots here and there. The table bump with the delay table break was a bit awkward, but she did quite well. First match back in 10 years. I think it's the best scenario to be in, thrown in a mixed tag, to wear off any ring rust that's there. And she got the win over Becky with the submission holds, obviously because of the B.
Yeah.
So you think now AJ Lee will be wanting a little Intercontinental Championship match?
Do you reckon they hold off until WrestleMania season? Because that feels like a WrestleMania match. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, IC title on the line.
They may have them a match at Mania, but I don't think they can wait that long to have the first singles match.
Anything's possible. Look, we've had a Hall of Fame inductee announced already.
We have had a Hall of Fame inductee,
which I think is a vehicle for Vince McMahon to get back on television. That's why I think it's been announced so early.
Did you hear the pop he got when he came on the screen?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Was it big?
Well, in the opening package, we're going off on a tangent now, but in the opening package, Vince McMahon pops up very briefly, and they left in the crowd noise while the package was playing. Got a big pop.
Was it real crowd noise or was it edited?
No, I think it was real crowd noise.
Goodness me. It's just me that since the Triple H era began, we've had Triple H headline one. You'd assume Stephanie's going to headline this one. Do you reckon Shane goes in next year? Then
Shane should go in. I think it was one of Shane's sons. I think it was Declan.
Declan?
Declan on Twitter saying where's Shane McMahon's Hall of Fame, and he should be in.
It could wait. That's it for the
that would be the greatest Hall of Fame for you.
I tell you what, I'll induct him.
You could do a full WTF moment on the Hall of Fame. Would that be the first ever Hall of Fame
Give
WTF?
Give me a call, Paul. I'll induct Shane McMahon.
He'll be free.
But anyway, if you missed all the coverage over the weekend, of course, the live streams are still live. If you fancy sitting and watching Andrew and Sam watch the show for their live reactions, Tom Campbell has got you covered. If you can't be asked to watch the full show, What Happened At, for both All Out and WrestlePalooza is on the channel right now. Of course, if you want to look at the predictions, if you want to look at the pictures, that's all live as well. WTF moments coming to patreon.com/Cultaholic in the coming days. All Out's 5 hours long. I've not even started yet.
Oh, well, it's 5 hours
That's
long.
That's a big day. Anyway, thanks for watching this news video. I've been Ross, joined by Owen, Shane McMahon for the Hall of Fame. We'll see you next time.